What's up, everybody? Jay Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always, spitting the hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. Y'all know what I'm talking about: football, basketball, and boxing. We had a legend pass away in football, Jim Brown. Let's talk about it. So the great Jim Brown passed away. We lost a legend on and off the field of play. Everybody knows about Jim Brown, the football player, even people who weren't around to see him play. Just to recap, for those that don't know, he's considered the greatest running back of all time, and that's even by running backs that went after him. Jim Brown was a guy that led the league in rushing every year he was in the league, aside for 1 year. Was a 3-time league MVP, only running back to ever do that, and one of only about 6 or 7 players in the history of the league to ever do it, period, as far as 3 league MVPs. He finished his career averaging over 100 yards per game. Nobody's done that. If he had played more years in the league, he could have put the rushing record completely out of the mix for a lot of people, but he chose to leave. He had other things he wanted to do with his life, got into movies, and was working on a movie, I believe it was The Dirty Dozen. While working on The Dirty Dozen, his owner for the Cleveland Browns gave him an ultimatum because he was taking too long to get back to report for football, that he either needed to report to football or quit. Jim Brown retired. From then went on to have a pretty good movie career. We know about that. But what we need to salute him for the most was his off-the-field stuff. He was an activist for many. He was part of the group that helped set up the coalition that went to support Muhammad Ali. Him and Bill Russell helped put that together, along with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. To me, Jim Brown's one of the Mount Rushmore of athletes when it comes to being an activist. If I'm going to give you 4 names, I'm going to give you Jim Brown and Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Muhammad Ali. That's the Mount Rushmore, in my personal opinion. And all 4 of those guys were legends. But Jim Brown was a pioneer and kind of set the standard for what you can do off the field in a time where it was hard to do so, because we're talking about segregation going on, Jim Crow, a lot of different things that he had to put up with. But he still stood on front lines at times and did the best he could. But as an athlete, he was one of the greatest athletes of all time. When they did the list of the greatest athletes back in the 90s of all time, he ranked in the top 5 ever. On many lists, he's been considered the greatest football player of all time. He wasn't just a running back because they used him in the passing game. Jim Brown was able to throw the ball with accuracy on plays. Go look that up. In addition to just running it. And he was a Hall of Fame lacrosse player to go along with the fact that he was a Hall of Fame football player. Heard a story once about his athletic exploits, that even after he retired, years after he retired, he was schooling guys that was Division I basketball players at UCLA. That's how good he was at sports in general, just a natural freak athlete. We're gonna miss that guy. Did a lot for the game, did a lot for society. Rest in peace, Jim. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is, and you know what you're looking for. Jay Heat Sports Media. Remember to like, subscribe, or get at me in the comments. Let's go back and forth. Let's get these subscribers up. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, at The Vault JMU 414 on Twitter. And of course, what's up, TikTok? Holla at y'all next time.